Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, if there is one thing that helped William Samoei Ruto to propel his presidency in 2027, it is a strategy that he started right from the time they won the first election in 2013. William Ruto had prepared that he will take over from Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and his strategy was very simple. Ruto was everywhere in this country trying to launch some of the government project, because you could see a Ruto who was acting as a co-president to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. To an extent, they were even wearing same uniform. You would see same tie, same shirts, on the same vehicle. So you would see a co-president. That means there was a lot of consulting between the two to get the success of a government. So one of the big thing was on how Ruto was launching project on his name in this country. That one especially was focusing in Mount Kenya region, then some part of Rift Valley, just to show that he's the man there. And he made it sure that in most of the project within Mount Kenya region, it has his name. Even a project that is intended to be done, but they have not already allocated money for the project, Ruto will look for a way to go and launch that project. Na hakuna pesa. So he will lay the foundation stone on his name. But if the project will end up failing because of lack of funds, so the blame will be on the government. But he knew the time when he had to leave the government and place that blame direct to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, playing safe. That's one of the master plan Ruto was using to play Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. But now Ruto is in State House today, and his deputy is there, a man who had a copy of the book that Ruto was using to play Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So Ruto also is here, busy looking for a way to stop Rigathi Gachagua. And there's a story that was shared in Taifa Jumapili with a headline, Ruto anavyokata kucha za Gachagua. If you read that story, you would see William Ruto is using every means possible to stop Rigathi Gachagua from launching any of the government project. Haruhusiwi kuzindua miradi ya kuleta sifa na kumweka katika nafasi nzuri ya kumrithi mkubwa wake. Gachagua has been stopped from launching any project, be it in Mount Kenya or any other side of this country. But you would see William Ruto, who was launching more of projects in Mount Kenya than some in Rift Valley. Because for Rift Valley, he was to counter Gideon Moi so that Gideon cannot attract any popularity at home. In Mount Kenya, it was a game playing against Uhuru Kenyatta at his back, sorry for that. And that's how William Ruto succeeded. What are the duties Ruto is giving to Gachagua? Look here. And these are meant to finish Gachagua. For example, was it yesterday Gachagua was to chair a reform stakeholders committee on tea and coffee in Mount Kenya region. So utamuona pale Gachagua, you would see is there in alikuwa wapi? Rigathi Gachagua exploring in Meru Forest earlier in the morning ahead of coffee reform stakeholders conference. Ako kwa msitu. Meenda kutembea kwa msitu, alafu akuja akalia kikao cha coffee and tea reform. Then after chairing that meeting, what normally happened at the end of the day? You would see farmers getting no any return for their produce. Because in as much as chairing all these meetings, the question will be simple. What was Uhuru offering and what is this government offering? You try to check and compare. You find Uhuru had good bonus for the farmers. Uhuru was buying at a favorable price of 1 kilo of coffee compared to what this regime is giving farmers. So at the end of the day, you find Gachagua who's delivering zero to the farmers in the Mount Kenya region, in as much as chairing many of these meetings. It means there is someone sabotaging him somewhere. They want him to fail. And there are other many ways we can explain this. But before we go deep into that, just a quick request for those who are watching and you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. One question you will ask here is simple. Why is it that Ruto was free to launch government projects during Uhuru regime, but today, even in the Mount Kenya region, Gachagua is not allowed to go and launch any project? Equator near affordable housing. There is nowhere they are going to lay a stone of foundation in the name of Rigathi Gachagua as the deputy president on any project. Because this is some of the way you start getting mileage in government. You are being seen as someone who's pushing for things, and then, so you would see Ruto doing that. He come and launch and say, I'm pushing for this. You will get this one, I'm pushing for this. So you see, like, he's working for you. Gachagua would want to use the same way. But Ruto cannot allow. Because he knows if some of those projects are going to fail, the blame will be on him. Because Gachagua will be looking into his political interest in the near future. So he has to deal with Gachagua completely. You see, in some of the meetings where he need to send his deputy, anatuma Mudavadi. But in areas where there's no any value or interest politically, huko Gachagua anaenda. You would see, one would ask himself one question. You can ask yourself one question here. Why is it that Ruto cannot intervene between Gachagua and Uhuru Kenyatta to bring peace within the Mount Kenya region? Because, once he does that, then definitely Gachagua can easily reach out to Uhuru Kenyatta, consult, and in that way, they can move forward working together. So we want to have that fight, so that Gachagua will be in a fight between Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. Anytime he will declare he want to become the president. That means you cannot win this fight. You can't win it. So Ruto is busy inciting Gachagua in the Mount Kenya region so that he continue fighting. Another fight that Ruto has launched for Gachagua is between Gachagua and the governors in this country. So you would see, regarding Gachagua is going to chair IBEC meeting. This is a meeting with the county governors to deal with the issues of finance and other payment within the government. So it's a link between national government and the county government. Gachagua end up in such meetings lecturing governors. Sisi hatuna pesa, mkitaka, we can remove our trousers, you beat our buttocks, but there's no money. That's a sentiment that will come from Rigathi Gachagua. So you would see an enemy of devolution. Hiyo ndio vita Ruto ameachia Gachagua kwa anapigana huko. So how will that one help Gachagua to gain popularity in Kenyan politics? He can never, because he's always in the war. Ako kwa vita throughout. And when you are engaged in war every time, you can't be popular. Instead, you are being viewed as an enemy. You are being seen as a stumbling block to prosperity. You don't inspire confidence in people because you are busy fighting everyone. Akienda kwa wakulima, they fail. Akikuja kwa governors, they fail. Akienda kwa Mount Kenya, is in war. When it comes to launching project, yeye kazi yake ni Ruto aende pale. Alafu yeye kazi yake ni kuintroduce William Ruto. Then Ruto will come and launch a project on his name. Kama ni kufungua watasema, this project was officially opened by His Excellency William Samuel Ruto. Kama ni kuweka msingi, jiwe la msingi, this project was the stone of foundation was laid by William Samuel Ruto. So at the end of 5 years, there will be no building, no road, no facility in the name of Rigathi Gachagua, either laying a stone of foundation or officially opening. Never. And you see, when Uhuru stopped to William Ruto, when it was already too late, because Ruto had launched so many projects everywhere, Ruto was also playing smart. He went further to an extent of now paying some members of parliament in good amount. That when they are launching, like for example, a school or a project within their constituency, they will call on William Ruto to come and launch it. So it will be launched in the name of William Samuel Ruto. Now kumbe, in each and every project these members of parliament have done, Ruto was paying them so that he can come and launch. That's how far he could go to market himself. Gachagua is being stopped by each and every means possible. And the man is too blind to see. He can't see this. So he will be in the war throughout. By the time we will discover, it will be too late for him to make any political, to achieve, to realize his political ambition in the near future. As simple as that. So Ruto is here to frustrate Rigathi Gachagua because he knows how he managed to frustrate Uhuru Kenyatta and take over Mount Kenya region. By the time Uhuru was leaving the office, Mount Kenya, more than half was not with Uhuru. Though there was a good number still that was believing on Uhuru Kenyatta. But more than a half, it was with Ruto. Because of that. So Ruto is using every means possible to stop Gachagua. And Gachagua is too blind. He's fighting everyone and he will lose this war.